said it all. You have said it all. The commitment that we have in order to regain the glorious days of Gamtel, I believe this is the right time for us to make sure we regain it, we get it back. And I hope we will soon get there. With the leadership of Mr. LAMIN TUNKARA, since when he came to Gamtel, there is a lot of improvement. Not only with him, but the entire management of Gamtel, the senior management, they're working tirelessly to make sure we provide efficient and reliable services to our customers. I mean, thanks so much for the brilliant speech that you just made.
To the Honorable Minister, Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, who is not only my boss, but a very good friend of mine. He will tell you, and I can confirm, in past years, we used to be on the phone for hours and hours, talking about technology. That's all what we talk about. Lately, upon being appointed as a minister, I told him, I said, well, boss, I mean, it couldn't be no longer the same because capacities have gone elevated and I will have to pass through some folks to get to you. But still, that camaraderie and the sense of coming together to provide for our communities is still intact. My greetings also goes to my good brother, my boss, Chairman, Gamtel Board of Directors, Mr. Lamin Sedi. I greet you, our distinguished delegation, led by our good friend, because earlier today I said it's not only about business now, but there is the sense of friendship in there between us and the team lead, who is MAMADOU MBENGUE. I greet you. Welcome to Gambia and to Gamtel. My fellow team members, my greetings to you. Gamtel is indeed unleashing its ambition and its potentials. And I want to let people know, those who are zooming in into this program here, that huge things, big things are coming to Gamtel. Thank you. I'm one of the luckiest individuals here because I am surrounded by a great team, a very ambitious team, a hardworking team. I can go on and say I have the best of the best in a CFO who would not only work with me, but he will correct me when I go wrong. I have the best HR director here who would guide me through the principles of what we do in terms of management of staff. I have a PRO here who's always on my side helping me, Director of International Operations, Director of Core Network, who is one of the champions of what we have today, what we are celebrating. I don't forget my Director of Multimedia Services and his team will be on the phone if need be 24/7. We'll be up to the early mornings because there is something that needs to be done to provide service for people, and he was always there. And the list goes on. My Deputy Managing Director walked into the room not so long ago. Here is a man who works tirelessly, and he does so with commitment. You know, if you want to know why he came in late, it was because there was an assignment that had to be done to print these documents that we want to sign. He would not leave his office until and unless he saw it done. When he walked in, I saw the frustration in his eyes, and I feel bad for him. But don't worry, he's my Kianka. After here, I'll just take him and give him a McDonald's. So thank you, guys. Thank you so very much, all of you. The internet over time has become one of the most consumed commodities in our world today. And our beloved Gambia is no exception to this consuming of the internet. It is not only important to be connected, but to be connected fast, anywhere and at any time. This is what all consumers want around the world, and in the Gambia here, we are no exception. Arguably, the internet access services has become a bone of contention where in some cases it may be deemed as a basic human rights. Some will say it's a basic human rights, others may disagree. As a key provider in the business of providing telecommunication services based Internet of Things to the people, Gamtel had aligned itself to provide reliable, affordable services. Internet in this country, and in our quest to achieve that, Gamtel has over the years have toiled hard. It has not been an easy journey for us. And some of the outages that you see across are testaments to that. And when that happens, we see how we run up and down to make sure we provide internet service for the people. We have always wanted a zero internet downtime nationally, but this has been very elusive. This was why we opted for the option of getting an additional bilateral network link for internet access. That is where the free approach and the free partnership came into being. It was not an easy journey. We were met with numerous challenges, yet determined to succeed, and indeed we did it. It was a very costly journey. We spent about $36 million for this project. At the time when cash flow was a situation, we didn't have any option but to turn to the government and say, we need help. Thanks to the government of the Gambia, to the finance ministry, the board's approval, we were able to lay hand on some funding through borrowing from commercial banks. But I must do right before going further to tell those who are looking at this program, this event, who may ask, the 36 million that was given to you, how was it spent? But at the end of the day, most of it, if not all, is the taxpayers' money. So we owe it to them to say, here is a breakdown of that. 4 OSN 9800 WDM and 10 amplifiers were purchased at a cost of $22,400,000. Civil works that cost us about $1,300, and 25-kilometer fiber cable rollout at about $575,000. Now you do the math, you calculate, you see what I was talking about. About this this network, in Farafenye, an OSN and 2 amplifiers were placed for the traffic routing and propagation. Similarly, in all other parts like Soma, Serekunda, Banjul, and Buyam, and Kerawan. We have an OSN place at Farafenye, OSN place at Soma, OSN place at Serekunda and Banjul, 2 amplifiers at Serekunda, 2 amplifiers Banjul, 2 amplifiers Soma, 2 at Farafenye, and 1 amplifier at Buyam and Kerawan each. And we did these amplifiers to be able to make sure that traffic is enhanced, is boosted. I'm sure you will agree with me, it is a national embarrassment for a country to experience a mere 5 minutes outage, internet outage, talk less of hours. And in the very not so long past, we've had this experience. That is when we sat and said, we will take this never again phenomenon. Say we will not allow the entire Gambia to be completely out of internet, have internet outage for one reason or the other. That is when we decided to reach out to Free to begin this process of trying to have interconnection. Well, as often said, the longest journey comes to an end. Hopefully, we have come to the end of our internet wars or misery with this historic signing of this partnership. And this is where, like I said, Free comes in. Yes, we can boast of prevailing opportunities as highlighted above and the many before this delivery, like many others have said. But it makes a futile effort without aligning partnership to connect and have access to the global Internet of Things. Having realized the potency and the prevalence of free communication business across the world, I am confident in the decision we made to align ourselves with this giant provider. I've had the opportunity today to be on the phone with the chairman, board of directors, just when our honorable guest walked into my office with his team. The chairman wanted to have few words with him, and in the process, ask him their product portfolio, their business model, and where they are in the world. And after the phone conversation with the chairman, he really assured me he's comfortable hearing the kind of historical background that the CEO of Free was able to give. I thank you very much for this partnership. I think my friends here, the able directors, they have highlighted on a lot of things, and to me, it's just sum up. And as far as I am concerned, I will align myself with what DIO said. It's just a question of celebration. The work has been done. But again, I want to let people know that big things are coming, and they are coming to Gamtel. Thank you. We look forward to a Gambia with very reliable and resilient internet access to a great partnership and invariably a buoyant economy supported by this development. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Top of things. When I get to Mr. Tunkara's office, at times I do meet Mr. Jammeh, most of the time with him. But the guy, when he comes to work before 7 o'clock, he's always on his laptop. And he will engage all head of departments. I can really attest to that, because I have seen the commitment and the love he has for this company. And slowly, he himself with management will slowly change. I want to recognize the managing director of Gambia Submarine Cable, Mr. JABBIE. He is here with us right now. It's the guy with the hat and the white. Also, I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Abdugay of Core Network.
In the same vein, extend profound gratitude to the two managing directors, head of the two institutions, teams. We believe that we wouldn't have gotten here if they don't have exceptional, good working team behind them. I was called in at last minute by my honorable chair to come and represent him before this for this important day. It goes to say what we have to do for our bosses. If my wife would have called me, I would have come up with very good excuse. I wouldn't have been here today. Yeah, so basically, exactly. So on a very serious note, I see this as what I call a red letter day for Gamtel, Gambia, and Free. We all know what this means for us. We all know what it can do for us. We've been so long as a board to see these directions to be taken by the management of Gamtel, Gamcell. Is connectivity for both Free and Gamtel, I think, is a very milestone. Technology is borderless, and these two countries, as we always said, is one. To be able to further strengthen that, what I called connecting it, bridging it with a hub, is just an extension of service delivery on both countries. The things that matters most, and as a country today, will be, we all believe, digital. No country can move today. The people of any country, being a sovereignty, can only be done through technology. For that matter, on behalf of my chairman, I think we can only encourage, as his word, encourage such very important project. We are in no doubt that there are a lot of challenges ahead from both institutions, but we can only encourage to be resilient, courageous, to make sure we take this to the next level. And for that matter, I thank you all.
Mr. Sidi, for this short and brilliant statement, but I would also like to recognize the presence of the Deputy General Manager of Gamcell, Madam Fatou. It's the most beautiful lady. Fatou, I'm always with you, please. But nonetheless, this is Gamcell.
I'm here in my capacity as a lawyer and advisor to Gamtel on very special matters. And one of such matters is this bilateral connectivity that we have been really craving for. So I have left my hat at the entrance of my door or gate at the GSC as Director General of the GSC. So speaking to you today shortly and briefly for that matter, as a lawyer, sometimes we ask ourselves, if you just ask me to go through what we have been able to do in the course of the months that passed, why we did it, and why we think you as Gamtel should rely on this particular document as a document that could guide you for some years to come. I know we are not here to talk about ourselves. But you know, lawyers, we always ask the issue of jurisdiction, capacity. Why are you doing this? Can you do it? Do you have capacity to do it? I think that's the key issue here. So the first issue is, I think, the team that has been able to work on these particular pieces of documents is a great team. We discussed very frankly and openly, and almost all the members of the team are people with some deep understanding of the requirements of network management and network contracting. My small self, I have almost 25 years of experience as a legal practitioner in this country. And then it's not only about experience, but sometimes the documents also matter, qualifications. All telecommunications lawyers are lawyers, but not all lawyers are telecommunications lawyers. So I suppose the first challenge I would just want to share with you shortly that we have discovered in the course of this negotiation or the drafting of the document is the issue of capacity. As a company nowadays, especially a telecommunications company, especially if you carry the burden of being called the incumbent, you really have to watch out very much on all areas, more particularly your legal department. It's very key because almost everything today is legal. For that capacity reasons, I think Gamtel has made maybe the right decision to reach out to some people, including my very small self, to work on these documents. I indeed worked for Gamtel for some years, and I went out to do my series of master's degrees specializing in telecommunications. First one being a postgraduate in industrial relations, labor law and labor welfare. Second one being a postgraduate in telecommunications network auditing in the University of Hull. The third one being a master's in communications development, MCM, in the Coventry University. The fourth one being LLM in information technology law at Buckingham University. And that is just the paper qualification. But practically, in terms of the experience, I have had the opportunity of serving in many countries, East Africa, the Caribbean, and obviously in the UK. But what is more essential for this particular piece of work is contracting. And I have had the opportunity of being a visiting lecturer at the university called Kigali Institute of Science and Technology. The main theme of the lecture was contracting and contract management methodologies for telecommunications network. So with that little experience, I was able to bring on board to be able to prepare these documents that we have done, and together with the members of the team. I must say this is not the first time we have been working on network contracts, and I assume it's not going to be the last time we'll be working on network management contracts. You have to understand telecommunications. You have to understand today's needs of telecommunications to be able to draft such long-term contracts that are expected or intended to serve your purpose for years to come. And I believe the entire team with the DIO has been able to really put in a lot of efforts on what is needed and what we must be very mindful of as we contract with any party. So this particular piece of document started with some form of a careful due diligence, which we did. Gamtel was able to do a small due diligence on both free and what they need, whether that is what they need for the next few years to come. Based on the reports of the due diligence, which equally inform the form, the structure, and the contents of the agreements we have prepared. These agreements that we've prepared, one is called the Master Service Agreement, and then the other one is called the Service Level Agreement. Service Level Agreement being the secondary part of the Master Service Agreement. Why we took this approach? Because we know the dynamics and the changing times in telecommunication service delivery. So we thought it was necessary to have one particular document that would stand the test of time, that we can use for 10 to 15 years to come. Whereas the second document would be one that you can change even tomorrow. Even 5 minutes after signing, you can actually change it. If you feel that by changing it, your purpose would be served, or by changing it, you would be saving cost, or by changing it, you will actually be saving your face. So we've prepared these documents, and obviously These documents are now handed over to Gamtel. For the first time, Gamtel is having such documents with them. You would agree with me, for some of you who have been actually dealing with the regulator or dealing with other network service providers in this country, there is what you call the reference service offer, or the reference offers that is mandatory for every telecommunication service provider or network service provider to actually have it in any given country where you are licensed. So in the absence of that, we thought this master service agreement is something that could serve as a reference selling point for Gamtel, for all services of Gamtel, regardless of this particular one and those that are yet to come. I have to thank the team once again for the work we've been able to do. Lastly, I must say, you can only advise the client. You cannot force the client not to take a part. Possibly you think that part may not be good for the client. Our role as lawyers is just to advise. What you see at the end is going to be determined or informed by your choice based on the advice given to you. Thank you very much.
Your doors. Because with your experience, 25 years of experience, I knew the very time when you worked with Mrs. Bensouda at Hagen Street. You also met me at Gamtel. At the time, I was with traffic accounts, then moved to billing department. But Mr. JABBIE, as an asset of this nation, Gamtel will continue to solicit your support as a seasoned legal practitioner. I thank you so much. I thank you so much for this brilliant statement. I now call on the humble gentleman, the person that I saw yesterday at the airport, Muse MBENGUE. When I saw this gentleman, to be honest, I was amazed. You see him, you can understand this guy is very humble. When you look at him, you can see the intelligence. You can see the leadership. He was very down to earth with his face. Yeah, but also, free is ours and Gamtel is ours. Let's try to nurture the relationship that's existed for the past few months or years. The floor is yours, Mr. MBENGUE, please.
Thank you so much. It's an emotional moment for me because, as some people knows, half of my parents are Gambian. So even my dad is Gambian. He's born in Farafenni, just close to Farafenni, a village named Ngen Sanjal. I don't know if you know Ngen Sanjal. And I have as well a family here in Serekunda named Yusufa Samba, his family. And Yusufa Samba is my uncle. And so the half of my family is from Gambia. I'm a Gambian. So I'm very happy to be here and very proud to be with you. Honorable Minister, Mr. OUSMAN Ba, thank you so much for being with us here. The Deputy Chairman, Mr. JABBIE, thank you. And Mr. TUNKARA, my friend, you are now my friend, and I think that we'll be together for a long time. And the Deputy GM of Gamtel, Madam Fatou, and honorable people being present here. Today, I'm very proud to represent Free in Senegal, here in the Gambia, alongside Gamtel, to announce the signing of an historic agreement, which will allow our two operators to take a new step and offer even better services to our respective customers. Indeed, today, July 29, 2022, Free and Gamtel will sign a service exchange agreement, as the lawyer said, to pull part of our services, pull our infrastructure, to both offer even more mobility to our users and to strengthen our respective abilities. We are very happy to announce that as of today, we have agreed with Gamtel and Free will provide 2 dark fiber lines that will cross Gambian territory, and in return, we will provide Gamtel with an internet connection with a capacity of 8 gigs. In addition, our new partner, Gamtel, will be able to benefit from a special commercial offer for the rental of additional internet capacity, tipped to an additional of 5 giga. But we want really to go further than a simple exchange of process. Indeed, in addition to this agreement, we want to set up direct connection between our 2 operations. First, SIP connection so that international voice traffic can be done in the best possible way, so that our users can travel from one country to another one without feeling the negative effect in terms of network availability, as you said, Madam Fati. But beyond that, we want to go even further, and we are committed to offering data roaming so that users between our 2 networks are not penalized when they are traveling. Finally, still in this desire to innovate, we are sharing with Gamtel. We are going to discuss so that our free money, mobile money services works in Gambia, so that all the operations offered by our tool can be used by as many people as possible, cross-border Senegalese as well as Gambians. But beyond all these commitments that you are signing today, this partnership open up even broader prospects, and the collaboration between our 2 brands, our 2 fine companies, has only just begun. We hope in the long term that all possibilities to improve the life of Gambian and Senegalese citizens are explored. We are already thinking about allowing Gamtel to be able to use Free's data center and Free to benefit from Gamtel's data replication. Because we know that collaboration does not just add up the possibilities, but multiply them. Because we want to do everything so that our customers see their life simplified, whatever that means. Because we are constantly seeking to explore ways to offer the best of technology to our customers and our citizens wherever they live. We are happy to announce that this partnership is not only a one-off and pragmatic act, no, but on the contrary, an association of our visions, so that our respective mission achieve their goal to simplify the lives of our following citizens, whether they are Gambian or Senegalese. So together, let's continue the movement.
I also want to recognize my able deputy managing director. This guy, very hardworking guy. He got the memory of this institution that is Gamtel, Abdoulaye Bass. Whenever you get into his office, I used to call him the action-oriented person. He is always there. Mr. Bass, because I know if I give you the opportunity, you can say a lot about Gamtel. But if you don't mind, I can give it to you because you are my senior.
Good evening. Wow. Let me just start by saying this, Gambia first. Gambia first. And my slogan with Gamtel, Gamtel is here to stay, and Gamtel will stay. I was very touched by the speech of our attorney. I had his name for the last 7 months, trying to connect with him, but I think today is the best time to meet him. I had a lot of good things about him, not even only from LAMIN, but other diasporas. So we are lucky to have him, absolutely. So today, the partnership with government on signing this master sales agreement is huge. I spent 16 years in the telecommunication with AT&T. I was very pleased to hear that we are now following standard and following processes that would protect us, not just for today, for many years to come. As I said, in strategy, we have the 6 Ps. Proper preparation, prepare you for proper performance. And it is now, I see that Gamtel has pivoted for the noise that have been stated over the last 2-3 years. Gamtel is about to go down, and people were worried, morale were low, and so on. But I think when you're doing the same thing every single day, and you're seeing the same result, that tells you your strategy is not working. So I am pleased today to see that Gamtel has realized that they are not going to be Nokia or AOL in the US. So with that said, it is important, our country, to realize that it is about time for us to look at 3 redundancy. In partnership, we have to look at the submarine cable that we have currently is almost halfway of its lifetime. It is important for us, if we decide we want the telecommunication to go back in the mid-80s, when I was just going to high school here in Banjul, we have to look at what are others doing that we are not doing, and just realize it is time to build partnership. There is no company in this world that have strived and be profitable without a partnership, period. So for the management of Gamtel and the chairman and the deputy chairman of Gamtel, thank you for supporting this partnership and this agreement, not even to mention that is our neighbor, our brothers, our sisters, our colleagues who are going to be the partner. This is not somebody coming from external that we don't know nothing about. So, to my dear friend, I just met him a few hours ago, but I can see the connection already. Thank you very much. So to avoid interruption and downtime, people have seen what happened about a year, I think it was a year ago, when we have the the cable marine had some issue and was cut, and the whole country went dark. We actually in the West, we were like, what happened? Is there a coup or what's going on? We were worried. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen ever again in this country. So with that said, my friend, Mr. TUNKARA, as he clearly stated, we have known each other for a while before even thinking about coming to work for the government. I can tell you this, our vision is the same. We want the best for this country. And with your support, we can do it together. What is the benefit for doing this master sales agreement signed today? The ability for backup during downtime for CG1, allow free Senegal and Gamtel to make money on both sides. Generate revenue for Gamtel and Free, as I stated, and strengthen the broader relationship that exists between the two countries. So we are looking for the next venture that we can explore in a mutual benefit where both parties will enjoy the revenue and the leadership between the two parties. An advisory, giving the benefit, please implore both parties to ensure fulfilling the obligations in the agreement of the maximum ensure smooth implementation to fulfill the partnership. Assurance of my ministry to resolve any support of partnership within the means to ensure success of both parties. With that, in conclusion, I am here to support the vision that has started. So with that, I want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for the time you have dedicated to come here to support this vision. I want also, in last statement, our country to know, every Gambian that is watching today, that we are here to make a difference, and we will make a difference. Thank you.
As I stated it earlier, Gamtel is the state-owned enterprise. Whatever we can do to make sure we maintain by providing efficient and reliable services, we will do it. Because the commitment is there, the leadership is there, the vision is there, and also we got the support of the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. These guys, you know, we are blessed for having these two gentlemen in our midst. They gained a lot of experience in the US in terms of telecommunication and IT. You just imagine, blend these two things. With the support of management, we can achieve a lot of things, and we will continue to regain the glorious days of this institution. We were second apart from South Africa. You just imagine. This is not a small thing, it's a big thing to both Gamtel and Free. It's big to this country because we want to provide internet services to all Gambians, irrespective of their ethnicity, irrespective of their political affiliation, irrespective of their religion. We want to serve Gambians and non-Gambians alike. So we will continue to make sure we do that. I want to thank you all. MBENGUE, Honorable Minister, TUNKARA, all of you here, I want to thank you all. So this is the end of the program. It's not been very easy, but I have to thank you all. But there must be, we must have to make the signing of the agreement between Gamtel and Free.